Very good morning to all of you students. As I had provided you all of you the question answer, the exercise work of this chapter, and also the lecture till part 4. Today we are going to study the part 5th and the last part of this chapter, which is started from the ecosystem. So what do you understand by the ecosystem? Ecosystem is the place, or you can say is the region where both biotic and abiotic elements are interdependent to each other. Means the biotic elements depend on abiotic elements and the abiotic elements depend upon biotic elements. As I had told you all of you that what is the difference between biotic and abiotic element and what is biotic and abiotic elements. Biotic elements are basically the living elements which include living organism, and abiotic elements which include non-living organisms. So ecosystem is the place where they both interact and live with the help of each other. This interaction forms the ecology of the region. Okay, here you can see the example of some ecosystem like sea, pond, forest and grassland. Grassland, on land the animal live, is the ecosystem of grassland. Here you can see forest and numerous number of trees. Here also some living organisms living like wild animals. Here also you can see in pond the animals which required water and which they live. Here in sea you can see the organism which live in sea are dependent on water, sea water. So these are the example of the ecosystem: sea ecosystem, pond ecosystem, forest ecosystem and grassland ecosystem. These ecosystem is known as natural ecosystem, which means these ecosystem found naturally in the environment. But if you create any system where the organism which they are living, you provide them a artificial environment like aquarium. In aquarium you provide water, some artificial plants and food to the organism. So this is a man-made ecosystem and also known as artificial ecosystem. After the ecosystem, here we will discuss about food web. What is the meaning of food web? A food web is the interlinking of many food chain. So first of all you have to know what is the food chain. If the organism eat another organism and further on that organism is eaten by the other organism or decomposed by the other organism, is known as the food chain. If we define food chain, a food chain is the process by which an organism feed upon the other in order to obtain energy. Which means if an organism eat any organism to obtain energy, and again that organism is eaten by the other organism for the energy, is known as food chain. So interconnection of the food chain is known as food web. Here you can see the example of food chain: producers, consumers and decomposers. Initially I had told you all of you that what is producers. Producers contain plants or green leaves, which means producers are the major plants. And when we talk about consumers, so in consumer I had already told you that there is primary consumer, secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. Last consumer is tertiary consumer. After the consumer we can see decomposer. Decomposers are those organisms which decomposes the organism, which means the last step of food chain will be decomposers. If we talk about the energy, okay, if we talk about the energy will decrease as we go further in food chain. Which means if the producer contain 100 joule of energy, coming to consumer it get converted into 1 joule of energy, sorry, 10 joule of energy. And after the decomposer decomposes that animal, it get only 1 joule of energy, which means you can see the energy is decreasing when we go further in the chain. Okay, when we go further in the chain in various steps. We can clearly study this with the help of pyramid of number of energy. So here you can see this pyramid is constructed, which include producer, from producers to primary consumer, then secondary consumer, and then tertiary consumer. So producers are the major base, you can say, of the food chain, because they can produce the food. Okay, so here in the pyramid at the base you can see the producers. The producers are being consumed by the primary consumers. The primary consumers are consumed by secondary consumer, and after they are consumed by the tertiary consumer. As we go further upward in the pyramid, you can see the decreasing of energy takes place. These are also known as the tropic level. This is tropic level 1, tropic level 2, tropic level 3, and tropic level 4. Okay. Now with the help of this diagram, you can easily understand that what is primary consumer, what is producer, what is secondary consumer, what is tertiary consumer. As I had mentioned before also, that plants are the producers. So here you can see the plants. The plants are eaten by the rat. So rat will be the primary consumer. After that, the rat is eaten by the snake. So snake will be the secondary consumer. After that, the snake is eaten by the eagle. So eagle will be the tertiary consumer. Now, energy flow in food chain. What do you understand by the flow of energy in food chain? So here we will study 10% energy flow. In each step of tropic level, the energy which goes is only the 10% of the previous one, which means if the producer obtain 100 joule of energy, then the primary consumer get only 10 joule of energy. After that, the secondary consumer will get only 1 joule of energy, and after that the tertiary consumer will get 0.1 joule of energy, which means only 10% of the energy get into the next step of the tropic level. So this was the energy flow in the food chain. One thing also we want to know that sun is the ultimate source of energy, because as we know, producers are plant, and plant obtain their energy from sun. So sun is the ultimate source of energy. The energy keeps on decreasing as we proceed along a food chain. As I had mentioned, if you increase the tropic level, first tropic level will be producers, second will be primary consumers, third will be secondary consumer, and fourth will be tertiary consumer. So you will see the decreasing of the energy. Okay. Now here you can see the two topic, dependence of animal on plants and dependence of plant upon animal. So here you can see how the animal are dependent on plant because they get the plant products with plant. Here you can see cotton, coir, cloves, turmeric. These are the plant products which are being utilized by the human in large quantity. So basically human are dependent on plants. With the help of this topic, you can see how plants are dependent on animal. So you can see the pollination, for pollination plant required animals. Okay, for dispersal of seed plant require animal. Okay, to maintain the fertility of soil plant require animal. So these topic represent that how animal and plant both are interdependent on each other. Now with this topic you can see how plants and animals both are dependent on abiotic factor. As I had told you all of you that what is abiotic factor, the non-living factor will be known as the abiotic factor. Abiotic factor include water, soil, land, etc. Okay. So how they both are dependent on abiotic factor? Like plant depend on soil because they grow into them. Okay, animal dependent on groundwater for their water requirement. And then for air, you can say air is also a abiotic factor, and for animal and for plant both, the air is important because air contain oxygen for respiration. Okay,